So you're at a handyman job and something breaks. What do you do? Hi friends, my name is Alan Lee, your day-to-day handyman business coach, and I aspire to help other handyman businesses take their business to a whole nother level, not only by showing them and teaching them how to create a successful handyman business, but by walking through with them every step of the way on their handyman journey. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about warranties and basically covering your work that you've done and what kind of warranty you should be offering as a handyman. Okay, now warranties are a very, very tricky subject because you're talking about money that you have to pay out as a business, okay? So now the biggest thing that gets in the way when you think about warranty, I would say, is ego, okay? When we as men do something, we do it with intentionality and we do it correctly. We teach people here at the Handyman Journey to do things with integrity and to do things with honor and to do things the correct way. If you're going to do something at all, do it the right way, okay? But if something breaks, what should we do as handymen, right? If something that we installed breaks or leaks or falls off or goes bad, what should we do, not only legally, but morally, okay? So now, this topic kind of, differs depending on what state you're in, okay? Here in California, if you are an unlicensed contractor, meaning you are a handyman, you technically have no say in court. If someone wanted to take you to court for the work that you've done, technically they will win every single time if you are a handyman and not a licensed contractor. Okay, you have literally no say in the money aspect of anything if you are not a licensed contractor. Now, this is the way that the state legalities have set it up, the Contractor State License Board, and this is just kind of the game that we have to play, okay? So if you go to a job and you say, okay, I'm going to do this job for $499, and the client does not want to pay you, you can't legally do anything about that as a handyman. If you are a contractor, that's a whole nother deal because you guys actually have a contract written out, signed, everything like that. But as a handyman, you have no legal authority, okay? So for us, what we do for warranty, when people ask us about a warranty, we say, well, we don't have any traditional warranty, but I can tell you this, if something breaks or goes wrong that we worked on, whether it's a year or 2 years after, we will come out and assess it. We will take a look at it, and if it's our fault, we will fix it, free of charge. I think that is what is weighing on me morally, more than anything. Okay? Now, a lot of people will disagree with this and say, oh no, you got to stand behind, kind of the work that you do in a sense of, no, it's been 2 years since I've done this, so you need to pay for it. Now, obviously, if it's 2 years old and weather has extremely gotten to it and that's what caused it to degrade or break or something like this, or maybe they monkeyed around with it, obviously it's on them. So there is a time when you need to stand behind your work and actually fix what you did, and maybe something that you installed wrong, you need to fix that. But then there's also times where you need to stand up and be like, no, this is on you. And it's up to you as a person to understand the difference between those two. For instance, we recently sold a job replacing a fence post and also replacing a gate that was attached to that fence post, okay? So the client, I sent him an estimate for replacing all the wood, all the pickets, everything. There was maybe a short, 2-foot section of fence, the gate post, and then the 3-foot gate, 3.5-foot gate. So I estimated replacing all that wood, all the pickets, everything for that whole 5.5-foot section. He comes back and he says, I want to reuse as much wood as I can. And I don't want to accept your bid as it is because I don't want to replace all of that wood. And I said, the only way that we can stand behind our work is if we replace all of that wood. And I was firm with him. I said, sorry, we cannot do it the way that you're wanting. If you want to hire someone else to do that, that's perfectly fine with me. But if you want our warranty and our word to stand behind that, we need to replace the whole 5.5 feet of wood, fence post, fence pickets, everything. And he came back and he says, okay, when can we do it? Right? So you need to understand what falls in line as far as your warranty, okay? So if you're going in and replacing a faucet and you want to warranty that faucet, maybe you should have stipulations of what your warranty entails. Say, yes, I'll definitely warranty, and it's case-by-case basis, right? If they have old angle stops where the supply line is built into the angle stop, you're going to want to tell them about the possible issues that can happen if they do not replace that angle stop and that supply line. Say, hey, I'll replace this faucet, but you may have a leak coming from this angle stop or this supply line. If you want me to replace the angle stop and the supply line right now with the faucet, that's awesome. And then if anything in the future was to happen with that, I would definitely come back and fix that or take a look at it or tighten things up or whatever needed to be addressed. So you need to take it on a case-by-case basis, but at the end of the day, you need to have some sort of moral obligation, whatever it is set in your mind, to take care of the work and stand behind the work that you've done in the past. And so that's on the back end. So you need to make sure that you cover all your bases on the front end and tell the client, educate the client, say, hey, I can only cover this if we also do this. Okay, so you need to, as the handyman, sometimes we go in and we're focused on just one problem the client has, right? Say their kitchen faucet is leaking. We're so focused on that, we're like, okay, we're going to put a new kitchen faucet for you, but we do not pay attention to the angle stops that haven't been touched for 25 years, or the supply lines that haven't been touched for 25 years. These are things that we as handymen need to educate the client, because the client doesn't know anything about it, but we need to tell them that, hey, your kitchen faucet is leaking. I see your angle stops are, original to the house, and they probably have never been touched. So most likely when I go and turn that angle stop off, it's going to start leaking. So I would highly recommend that you replace the angle stops while we do the kitchen faucet. If they say they don't want to do the angle stops, then you've educated them and you've told them about the issue, and you just go in and replace the kitchen faucet, and you tell them if anything happens with that angle stop, it's going to be more on top of what we've already agreed upon. So you need to have those conversations at the beginning so that you don't have problems in the end. Now the problems occur when you don't have those discussions in the beginning, and then problems occur, and then you try and address those issues after things are already going. So you're going to want to make sure you get a good oversight of the job that you are completing and everything that you're going to be touching while you're there. If you go in and say, okay, I'm going to replace your kitchen faucet, but you never told them about the angle stops, you can still sell them new angle stops, but it's kind of going to be a little bit tricky because you're in the middle of their kitchen faucet install, and oh, by the way, you need angle stops. It's definitely feasible. You can definitely sell angle stops at that point. Maybe that was an oversight on your part, but angle stops, especially if they're old, should always be talked about whenever you're upselling a faucet and things like that. So, and same thing with wood, right? Like the fence job or the gate job that I discussed earlier. If there is adjoining fence pieces that you're going to have to remove to do the work that you do, and those are rotten or not looking too hot, you need to recommend to replace those. And if they don't replace those, maybe it's going to be a little bit more because you're going to have to kind of finesse it a little bit, put extra screws in it, whatnot, things like that to work around that. But you need to make sure that you get yourself covered. So at the end of the day, as far as warranty, set up whatever warranty you feel is comfortable for your business. I know, setting a warranty for, 1 year on labor and, maybe 1 year on parts is perfectly fine. Whatever you want to set for your business is good as long as you are willing to stand behind your work. For us, we kind of have that, if it's broken, we're going to come fix it and look at it, okay? If we go and we replace angle stops, supply lines, and a bathroom faucet, and a year from now, that supply line starts leaking, right? We're going to look into why did that supply line start leaking, and what can we do to fix it, right? Does it need a new supply line? If it needs a new supply line at that point, I would say, okay, if you cover the supply line, we can go ahead and do the labor for free, or we could split the labor half-half, or you could just charge them full labor and full material. There's nothing wrong with that. It's whatever you want to do as a personal business. And it's also dependent on your clients, right? Is this a first-time client? Is this a client that's been around for a while? But at the end of the day, you need to figure out what warranty works best for your business. So again, my name is Alan Lee. I would love to hear your comments on this particular video on warranties. What kind of warranty do you offer as a handyman? And what are some questions that you might have regarding warranties and even regarding handyman business in general? So thank you so much. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. I look forward to reading your comments in the comment section, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.